Hello my friends, what's up? We're going to be updating the charts for my predictions for NVIDIA and the SP500 index. You guys know, and for those who are new to the channel, I make monthly predictions, cover them daily. Basically every single day I include in every single chart that I make, and most of them are extremely accurate. And by extremely accurate I mean that many times, in fact, I get 100% accuracy. That's how accurate I am. And I always give my community the opportunity to choose whatever stocks, whatever forex, cryptocurrencies, whatever they want me to cover. Especially regarding cryptocurrencies, I cover them only on my crypto channel. So if you're wondering why there's no crypto predictions on this channel, that's because that's the reason. So if you want to see them, just go ahead and check my other channel out, and I'm sure you will be very grateful for what I publish there. Because as with these charts as well and the traditional stocks, I give a lot of good information that many people don't even know about, because I can predict the future, guys. And because I can predict the future, I can tell you exactly what days are going to be good for investing, what days are going to be good for selling, for buying, for planning strategies. I mean, this is just incredible knowledge with just amazing and outstanding. It's just another level of strategic positioning, right, guys? No one else offers this. And you can actually see this in my previous charts. I mean, if you don't believe me, if this is the first time you're watching me, just go ahead and look at my other videos, guys. Especially look at the videos, the first videos of the month, because that's where I publish my predictions for everyone to see before the month finishes. I don't make any kind of tricks or whatever. I publish them freely to the public so they can see what my predictions are going to be about, how they're going to come true. And every single day, basically, we're updating them, especially on my X account, guys. So if you want to follow me, also be sure to follow me there. I publish daily there. It's just updates, guys. It's just updates. And I do give from time to time some crucial information that might help you even plan out even better strategies. So okay, let's begin with this NVIDIA chart, and what we're going to be seeing is that the last few days, let's begin this recap on this day, which is Monday 7th of October. That's basically the first day of the current week. Tomorrow will be Friday, which is the final day of this week. So I think it's a nice day, really, to start this analysis. So you can see that this day is Monday 7, corresponds to this circle right here. We have a red and we have 7 or 8. Now that means that I was expecting some kind of downtrend on either one of these 2 days. Could be 7, could be 8. Now as you can see, it's clearly not on the 7, even though it has some powerful correction energies near the end of the day, near the final hours. It's still not a red day, because you can see that obviously we close on a much higher position than we opened. So that was the only surprise so far, that we got this massive powerful surprise on the 7th of October. This went even above the range of the RSI, so you can see that there's it was a very powerful uptrend, not gonna lie, guys. And the next day is the 8th of October. Now, we also see an impulse, maybe not as powerful as this one, maybe not as maybe dramatic or very volatile as the last one, but you can see that the price climbs higher and we finish on a much higher position as well. Now, this means that, for example, we had this green circle right there on the 8th of October as well, sharing this day on the red circle. So that means that there's going to be some volatility. When that happens, when that pattern repeats, we can expect that one of these two trends are going to be dominating over the other. So it could have very well been a red day as well. But luckily for us, we got a very significant uptrend, and that consolidates two consecutive uptrends right here. You can see on the 7th and on the 8th. Now, right there, I made a video on the last week, and I told you guys that if things go right, we could have seen 4 consecutive green days, meaning the 7th, that was a complete surprise. The 8th, which was on the record, which I nailed it, and the next consecutive 2 days, potential 2 days of green energies, which are 9 or 10, because these days correspond to this green circle. You can see it right here, alternative days. Now you can see that on the 9th of October, it was more like a yellow day because we closed on a very similar position to the one we start. Remember, this is a red candle right here. Powerful correction, keeps going down, but nonetheless, it recovers. And where it recovers, guys, and where it finishes the day is basically just a yellow day. Similar positions, very similar. Now that means that we didn't get 4 consecutive green days. We actually got two consecutive green days, and this one, which is today, the 10th of October, we get a powerful and maybe not that powerful, but it's a very decent impulse right here. You can see that the price climbs, and where it ends, it's a higher position to the opening one. So it consolidates the green energy at least for the 10th of October. That was very important because that also was shared by this red circle right there. You have alternative 10 or 11. So obviously we didn't get the red for the 10th of October, but we could get maybe a downtrend for tomorrow. We could get that possibly. Or it could actually be more like a yellow day. It could also be because NVIDIA so far this week it's doing really fantastic, guys. I mean, I was expecting these uptrends on these days, but not really on the 7th. So that was a very nice surprise for us. That was a very powerful, like I was saying, very powerful uptrend. So that's all I have for NVIDIA. Like I was saying, tomorrow could be a very yellowish day. In the worst case scenario, we get actually the red day that I was talking about. And the next week, we could be opening on consecutive green days. That could be the case. I'm not so sure about the 14th of October, but if things go right, we could see both of these 2 days on the actual green. That means NVIDIA is going to have a very powerful week start on that day. Now let's watch the economy with the SP500 index. And before I begin, I want to invite you all to subscribe, share and like, comment when you think of this on my videos, whatever. Everything that you want to say is welcome, guys. So for NVIDIA, for the index, we have that the index covers the entire economy. This is not a stock. This is just an indicator, an index. That's what the name actually does. So again, every single circle with the index is 100% correct. Unlike NVIDIA, for example, that we saw the 7th of October on NVIDIA was a green day, a very powerful uptrend. But with the index, we actually see that the 7th was a very powerful downtrend. Exactly like I was covering right here, exactly like I was expecting for the index right here. So we see, for example, that day was shared by a yellow circle. So that means that we could see a day with some volatility or some range, but trending slightly downwards because it's shared by the red day, a red circle as well. That's exactly what we saw on that day. You can see that this is the range that I was talking about, the yellow energy of the day, and this massive collapse, this powerful correction right here is the red energy of the day. So that's what we see on the 7th of October, and on the 8th we see a decent and powerful impulse as well. This happened as well on the NVIDIA. You can see that the 8th was a green day for both of these charts. So that was very accurate, extremely accurate. Like I was saying, guys, my predictions are no joke. You can see a very significant uptrend correction. After the correction comes the recovery on the 8th. Now on the 9th of October, that day corresponds to this red circle right here. So corrective energies for the index on one of these 2 days. Now obviously not on the 9th of October, because this is where the price starts, something around here, and this is where it ends. So it closes much higher than we opened. And even though the day was dominated by range for basically half the day, it was nonetheless a significant uptrend, very significant. We go even higher from what the position of the 8th of October. But however, for today, which is the 10th of October, we see that even though the day basically behaved like a range, you can see that there's some recovery here, but there's some correction right here, and where it ends is basically the same position where it opens, basically the same, almost identical. So it's a yellow day by all means, but you can see that after hours, you can see that we actually begin lower than the day prior to that, and we close on a very similar. So there was not a recovery, there was not a green energy, it was dominated by a range, yellowish, but it was significant that we begin the day on a lower after trading hours. So you could see that the red energy on that day was very present. Not so much for NVIDIA, I think, but was very present on this the index chart. And yeah, guys, that's basically all I have. The index will basically close Friday with a yellow day. Probably expect more like this, basically a day dominated by range. It could be extremely volatile, but that's actually the two possibilities with yellow circles. So we'll have to keep an eye out and watch what the price does and what the movements of the markets really are on that day. But yeah, guys, that's all I have. Again, invite you all to subscribe, share, and like. Comment what you think, whatever you want. I don't really mind. And I'll be seeing you guys next time. Take care.